Hello, and welcome to a Tuesday night live stream. This was supposed to start yesterday. However, I had to move it because I realized belatedly that it was Labor Day, and I wanted you guys to enjoy your Labor Day. I didn't do anything for Labor Day other than get stung by a bug underneath my eye, and also party with my husband. So we just like turned up like two kids all weekend, and it was a lot of fun. And I hope that you guys got to enjoy your Labor Day as well. Thankfully, it's one of those holidays that's not celebrating like the passing of anyone or anyone historic. It's just celebrating us being good old worker bees here in the US of A. So if you're in the United States and you had Monday off, I hope that you enjoyed your Monday off. I'm so glad that you guys are able to join me. If you are unfamiliar, I have the mic turned the wrong way. If you're unfamiliar, my name is Natalie. I'm a criminal defense attorney based in Prince George's County, Maryland. And I'm a public defender on top of that. So, my honor to be in that position. There are 525 of you here at 2 minutes and 11 seconds into the stream, which is amazing. Absolutely amazing. I really appreciate you. If you could all be so kind as to take off your shoes, get comfortable, and like the stream. I saw someone comment while I was trying to get myself together that I'm always late. Just have to understand that I am a lawyer. And so I went to court this morning, and then I had motions to write and file after court, and then I had clients to visit in the jail. And so on weekdays, things are often unexpected, and I often cannot, you know, really gauge when it is that I'm going to be done with work. And then I have to contend with DC area traffic because the part of Maryland I'm in is in the DMV when I'm getting home. So please be understanding that I love YouTube. I love bringing content to you guys, and I'm dedicated to being consistent with that. But that is going to come with imperfections, such as sometimes not being on time to start a stream or having to delay a stream because my work is my number one priority. My job is what I am most interested in making sure that I'm on time for that at least, right? So yeah, thank you guys for coming on down. Thank you for liking my suit. I appreciate that. Sometimes I feel like I should tell you guys like where my clothes are from, but then I also like don't want to like show myself to you guys that way. Like I'm not trying to make myself like a fashionista or anything. It's just what I wear to court. But this suit is from Ann Taylor, I think, or Banana Republic. No, I'm pretty sure it's Ann Taylor. This is Ann Taylor. The shirt is from Amazon, and I got my shoes I was wearing today from Nine West. And the puppy is from a rescue in South Carolina, and I'm about to send her back there if she don't stop barking. Ma'am. She sees a cat. Anytime she sees a cat, she's on some bullshit. You've already demonetized the stream, Jazz. You have. Okay. We got to deal with that. So while I deal with this situation, give me one moment. I'll be right back. Jazz will not suffer a neighborhood cat to come in her vicinity. She does not like the neighborhood cats. She likes Susie very, very much, but she does not like the neighborhood cats. The transition screens are all courtesy of Valentina Nichols. She is okay. We're just gonna have to get through this, guys. And Jazz is gonna act a fool, but we'll figure it out. Okay, so I don't know what the issue. Like she hasn't done that all day, and as soon as I start stream, that's when she's doing it. Could you stop? There's no one out there. Chew your bone. Dramatic for no reason. You are the a-hole in this situation. I don't know how to get you to stop. Okay. All right. You're going to make me do something I don't want to do. You're going to have to go in the crate. Okay. I'm sorry. I'll be right back. AITA for telling my wife I don't care about her dreams. My wife wants to be an influencer on TikTok and YouTube. She has been creating mommy content and content about her day-to-day life. When she told me this is something she wanted to do, listen, if you're new to my channel, you're only here because of Ruby Frankie and 8 Passengers. We do something called AITA and Icebreaker. Sometimes it's something else for the icebreaker, but recently it's been AITA, right? And I was gonna skip it, but this is really, really relevant to the video topic that we have, and it's new. So I thought we have to go over it. So she has been creating mommy content and content about her day-to-day life. When she told me this is something she wanted to do, I didn't have a problem with it. I only said that I don't want our children, a 4-month-old and 4-year-old male and 2-year-old female, in any of her content. I didn't monitor her channel because it didn't really seem necessary. I recently watched her channel because I thought it'd be cute to see what she does in her day-to-day life. I found our children's faces in almost all of her content. I told her straight up, she needs to remove all of her content. She said that she knew I wouldn't agree, but she doesn't think this is a big deal. I don't like children content. I feel like a lot of the time when you see that children make profit, they become less of your kids and more of a product, and your interactions become more performative. And I can see the same thing has happened in her because she posted a video of her getting our 2-year-old out of a tantrum and how she deals with it. But how is your first instinct to record and hold a camera whilst our baby is crying? You're in the UK. She started crying, saying that she built this up and this is her dream and deleting her content will ruin it. And I said, I simply don't give a F. If you don't delete it, I will consider a divorce. I know a lot of people have children on their social media, and I don't mind an Instagram or Facebook post, but to make videos seems intimate, seems too intimate to share. She told her friends and even hinted on her social media accounts that she has an over-controlling and narcissistic husband that doesn't want her on social media and currently being ridiculed by her friends. I think you mean I am. Okay. Am I being over-controlling or narcissistic? Edit. Some ask what kind of content. The content isn't really harmful, just her feeding them and playing with them. But the two types of videos I have problem with is her recording our children's tantrums, and our 2-year-old still doesn't like clothes. We are trying to get her to wear them, but our house can be hot, so she's in a diaper a lot. I don't like the video of our daughter in her diapers. AITA. This was posted, it's already been locked. This was posted 5 hours ago and the comments have already been locked. But my goodness, how topical is this to what we're going to be discussing with Ruby Franke? Okay, so if you're new, the answer is NTA for the writer is not the a-hole, YTA for you're the a-hole, and then I'm going to put up a poll. So I'm not going to be looking at your guys' responses, because all that I want to do is just like give you my opinion without being influenced by what you guys say, and then I'll look at your responses. So we are learning. I don't know if my opinion would have been different 2 weeks ago before I found out about 8 passengers, but I would like to think this bug really messed me up. I would like to think that it would not be. Okay? I would like to think that it would not be. He is not the a-hole, and I agree with him, okay, completely. And I even think that it's something that could be worth a divorce, because that she is the one that's being narcissistic, right? Why can't you make your content without your children? What is it about you that you don't think that you're good enough to make content on your own 2 feet without involving minor children in their diapers, having tantrums? They cannot consent. It's one thing, like he said, to post a picture or a short little video on your Facebook or your Instagram for your friends, but to share your little babies with the entire world. You know what's so funny is this makes me think. There's Sister Wives is a show that I enjoy, but it involves minor children in it. They're not a major part of the content. They're a small part of the content. It's really about the adults and their drama, but sometimes their minor children are featured in it, and then people have a lot of nasty things to say about the children. Christine Brown posted her daughter, her youngest daughter, on her Instagram, and then people started speculating about her youngest daughter's mental well-being just because she said her younger daughter was building a fort while they were camping. I mean, it's really not right to subject your children to that level of scrutiny and discourse. It's not right to subject your children to that when they don't have the ability to consent. And a 2-year-old and however year old, 4-year-old, they do not have the ability to consent. So yeah, I know what her name is. I'm just trying not to say it. I mean, I know that it's out in public, but I'm really trying to. So I started watching Jordan and McKay because you guys told me Jordan and McKay have the best coverage on 8 Passengers. You need to watch that in order to catch up. I did. Okay. I've watched it. It's amazing content. It's just Jordan and McKay on my phone. That's my television. That's my life. That's all that I ever want to watch anymore, because they have everything, right? And they have a kind of a pattern, or like, I guess, like a policy on their channel of not saying minor children's names, even if their parents are publicizing their children. And I think that's something that I am going to stick to. I'm going to try my best not to say people's minor children's names on my channel, because even though their parents might be exposing them, the child did not consent to that. So I know what her name is. I watched the show a lot, and her name is everywhere. So I am not going to be saying her name, but people were speculating about her being on the spectrum simply because they went camping and she wanted her own space. So she built herself a fort out of sticks, which is such a childlike, lovely thing to do. And there's nothing wrong with being on the spectrum. But the way people were asking it, you know that they weren't being genuinely curious. They were being messy. So I say all of that to say, Dad is not the a-hole, in my opinion. Obviously, now I'm reading your guys' comments. Dad is not the a-hole. I couldn't stick to not reading your comments this time because I got so fired up. So let me go ahead and put the poll on here for you guys. Who is the a-hole? The husband or the wife? And I'd love to know what you guys think about that. Okay, we'll come back to that poll. But while we're at it, I wanted to say something about something we listened to in the dispatch audio last time. And that was that the law enforcement found a safe room. Now, people on Reddit are saying that that was in relation to another call. And when it comes to dispatch audio, that is something that can happen and does happen. A dispatch call is not like you're on the phone with somebody. You're calling over a radio, and other dispatch calls are being responded. So the operator is dispatching to the officers and saying, go to this location. And then as the officers are observing things, they are to call it back to the dispatcher. And then the dispatcher either dispatches more people out or takes other appropriate action, or just, it's noted for the record what is occurring in the moment, right? And so there can be multiple dispatch calls and they can overlap over time. So that's a possibility that the safe room is not related to the Ruby Franke children. Very, very possible. And that is okay. Okay. So I'm not sure one way or the other, but what Reddit says is very possible that they were responding to another dispatch call, and there was a safe room with a safe and all that type of stuff, and it had nothing to do with this call. It is unclear from me listening to the dispatch audio, but what we do have are the charging documents, and so we're going to be going through those charging documents. I also want to say that I have reached out to Jordan and McKay on Instagram. I don't know what their email address is, so if someone could get it to me. I couldn't get it from looking at any of their socials. I had a really hard time finding it. The only thing I could do was like DM them on Instagram, and I commented on their latest video where they were aware that I'm trying to reach out to them. So if someone could just kind of like maybe be that third party and put us together, I would love to interview them. Their content is amazing. And it was very interesting to see that Jordan is a mental health professional and was formerly a teacher for special needs children. So she comes with like a wealth of knowledge and information to, basically what is and is not appropriate parenting behavior, and kind of like what would cause intervention by law enforcement. So I also kind of wanted to talk to you guys about this video of Ruby Franke kind of like freaking out about the kids dancing to Flo Rida in school. One of the kids from like a TikTok dance, and the teacher wanted to do that in school. And I kind of wanted to touch base on that. But first, I want to get to the legal part of things. So we're going to be doing that. And as I said, if you're not familiar with me, I'm a criminal defense attorney. I only do commentary when issues intersect with the law. And this issue has certainly intersected with the law. Certainly. Another thing, Jordan and McKay have hundreds of thousands of views on their videos, but only like maybe 70,000 subscribers. That needs to change. If you're watching me right now and you don't know about them and you're interested in this subject, please go to their channel and go and subscribe. Okay. I think it was Low by Flo Rida. Get low, low, low. Apple bottom jeans with the boots with the fur. She had a problem with that. But not only like they were like, okay, well, your kid doesn't have to do it, but then she still wanted to rant and rave about it. So it was disturbing. And I want to look at it because it was disturbing. Very, very disturbing. Okay. So let's get on to the main topic, guys. And I have apple bottom jeans on Civil. I have a pair of apple bottom jeans. They've got to be in storage somewhere, like in a bin or something in my closet. I have an old pair of apple bottom jeans. Guys, please make sure that you like the stream. I appreciate it if you could. Much appreciated. Excuse me, I've had a very long day. And like I said, I got stung by, I don't know what this was. I got stung by something under my eye. My eye is swelling up. It's not great. It's not great. Let us get on to the official thread for 8 passengers snark. This is the probable cause affidavit. Credit goes to the 8 passengers snark Reddit thread, which has posted this. The affidavit is dated September 2nd of 2023. Today's date is September 5th of 2023. So charge 1, aggravated child abuse intentionally or knowingly, second-degree felony. We did talk in the last stream about the elements of that offense and the maximum possible penalty. Aggravated child abuse, she has 6 counts of aggravated child abuse intentionally or knowingly. And for some reason, this location is blacked out, but I'm wondering if there's 6, because not all of her children are minors. I think 4 of them are minors and 2 of them are adults, but the Washington County is not blacked out and the other 2 are. And I'm wondering if that's because of something. I'm not quite sure. But I'm thinking that it's 6 counts related to 4 children because 2 of them occurred in another location, like a different county. That has to be the reason that's blacked out, or I don't know, or it's different because it's all the same incident date, So it's very, very interesting. Okay, so that is number 1. Let's move on. There's multiple pages here. So far, this is what's happened in the case. The case was filed on September 1st, 2023. Judge Barnes, Keith Barnes, was assigned to the case. I have to put my phone on Do Not Disturb. Judge Keith Barnes was assigned to the case. The probable cause affidavit was filed on the 1st. She was ordered to be held without bail on the 1st. She has an initial appearance in 3 days on September 8th. And she'll be with Judge Gentry, 1:30 p.m., room 3C. So that should be open to the public. So we'll probably get some new information on the 8th. So there is an appearance of counsel, notice of limited appearance, and request for discovery. So it sounds like there is a defense counsel in this. If they did it, unless that's the appearance of the state's counsel, because they can also request discovery. Appearance of counsel, notice of limited appearance, and request for discovery. And then there was a notice of withdrawal. So somebody was in and then out of the case. I don't know who that would have been, but there's some defense counsel in and out of the case, it looks like. Not quite sure. That's what it looks like. So just kind of keep okay. So she does have an attorney. Lamar Windward Caleb Cottom is her attorney. And he has entered and he has made a request for discovery. So let's look at Lamar Cottom. Lamar Windward, attorney, Utah. Oh, they're 2 different people. Lamar Windward and Caleb Cottom. Okay, Lamar Windward, attorney in Utah. Windward Law, PLLC. Offers comprehensive legal services and counsel. They are based in Washington County. So I'm assuming this, because that's a weird name. So it's Lamar Windward. So let's see what we can find out about the attorney. Lamar J. Windward. Okay, let me show this to you guys so you can see what I'm talking about. I hope that this is insightful or helpful to you guys. So, oh, of course. Oh, did he take it down in that quick? That can't be. That can't be. Lamar J. Windward. Oh, here it is. Okay. So let me show you. This is her attorney of record. There's 2 attorneys of records. We'll look at both of them. Oh, thank you so much. Oh, sweetie, no, I appreciate it. That's, I've stopped being like, oh, I must do all the research myself. And I've just started asking you guys for help. And that has helped a lot with this channel. I really appreciate you guys being so, helpful to me. So this is currently Ruby Frankie's attorney of record. She has 2, Lamar Windward and Caleb Cottom. So Lamar J. Windward has worked in the legal field in Southern Utah for over 38 years, so very experienced. He moved to St. George the summer of '81 following his graduation from law school in Provo, Utah. He began his legal career working the firm of Snow and Nuffer. In 1987, he became a sole practitioner and continued sole practice until 2008 when his son JT Windward came to work with him. Aw. Lamar's son has since become a 5th district judge. Okay. Lamar has considered himself a general practitioner of law. He has handled a wide variety of cases, local, state, federal, and international level. His practice has developed with a broad base in family-related issues, including divorce, annulment, protect. Well, this would make sense that she would have a divorce lawyer. She might have already even had him because she is separated, according to sources. She has been separated from her husband, I think, Kevin Frankie. Is that right, Kevin? So it would make sense if she has retained a family lawyer. And then if you already have a lawyer, to be like, hey, can you help me in this case as well? And a broad base in the criminal law, including DUI, drugs, and crimes against people. Okay. And what he has her for now is a crime against people. Lamar understands that many of his clients facing such legal issues come to him at perhaps the hardest time in their lives. They come seeking legal advice, but also want assurance that their position is sound. Clients know that they have a strong advocate in Lamar Windward. Lamar is adept at listening to his clients' concerns and relating sound legal advice. He feels it is important to be realistic with expectations with what the law will support. Actually, I like this blurb a lot. I like this bio. This is a conversation I often have with clients. And when I butt heads with, let's say, family members or loved ones, it's because I say things like, we need to have a realistic expectation of the potential outcome of this case. I'm going to advocate for your loved one. I'm going to fight for them, but we need realistic expectations. So I find this to be very, very good. This puts me in the mind of an experienced lawyer, because an experienced lawyer knows to say these things. He will quickly inform his clients if their expectations are legally viable and will not agree to take a case just to gain billable hours. Oh, I mean, listen, in the lawsuits that I've been involved in, certainly I have had the suspicion that maybe some of these lawyers are just taking these cases, not because they think the case is actually going to be successful, but simply to get billable hours. And so this is like, honestly, I think the mark of a really good, sound attorney. And the thing with the criminal cases that, I mean, obviously in any case, you can't assure any particular outcome, but you have to tell a client up front, I cannot assure you that we will be successful at trial. I cannot assure you will get the best possible plea offer that, you know, like a magical plea offer, you'll never go to jail. But what I can assure you is I'm going to work hard for you. So this is well written. He is a trusted advocate in the Southern Utah legal system for that reason, among many others. Lamar uses his spare time to support his community. He has been involved with Little League Softball, Boy Scouts, and several nonprofit organizations. Lamar is married to Jennifer Elizabeth Windward. He has 4 children that have been raised in St. George. He and his wife love being in the outdoors, spending time with family, and especially being grandparents. Okay, so I will say this. Please do not bother Mr. Windward, guys. Every client, every criminal defendant has the right to vigorous representation, right? They have the right to vigorous representation, the right to an attorney to represent them. That is how we know that the person got a fair trial. You never want a conviction to be overturned because someone got an unfair trial. You never want someone to be wrongfully convicted because they had a crap attorney and maybe there was some type of defense. Maybe, you know, Ruby Frankie was locked up. She wasn't. I mean, but I'm just saying, like, maybe Ruby Frankie was locked up somewhere by Jody, or Jody had stolen her children and brainwashed her, and she had no idea what was happening to her kids. I'm just saying there could be some type of defense out there we have no idea about. We want her to have the best possible defense to make sure that she has the fairest possible trial, so that if she is ultimately convicted, we can be assured that it was a fair conviction and that she gets, you know, the right punishment commiserate with that conviction. So I like that attorney's profile, and I think that puts my mind at ease a little bit, but I'm being cautiously optimistic. We'll see how he performs in court. we will get to see, even if we don't see inside the courtroom, we'll get to see how he advocates in the case, if he in fact stays in the case. It's possible he comes out of the case, because I saw that there was a removal of appearance. But let's take a look at Caleb Cottom. Caleb Cottom is also listed as an attorney, and he's based out of St. George, Utah. And let's see if we can find something about him. Okay, so just one second. I don't think that he has a website. Oh, it's not as good. Okay. He doesn't have a website. I don't know. Let me think about this. He doesn't have a good lawyer rating either. Okay, interesting. Okay, one second. Let me show you why I say interesting. Give me one second. Yeah, okay. I'll just show you what I found, and we will temper how we look at this. I'm gonna be careful about drawing any conclusions here, but okay. So here's his US News and World Report. You don't have to have a lot on this. He hasn't claimed his profile. So they just found that he's a registered lawyer and just put this up there. So that's number one. When you're in private practice, you may want a big online presence, or you may not want a big online presence, so you might just want word of mouth. Here's what they say about him on Martindale Hubbell. Looks like he graduated 2010, was admitted to the Utah bar in 2012. His areas of practice are divorce and separation. According to lawyer.com, his areas of practice are real estate, accident, injury, divorce and family law, and estate. Yeah, it seems like these might be the attorneys she retained when she was about to separate from her husband. And then she just, kept them. On got.law, it just they have here, he's been a member since 2018. One place is saying a member since 2012. For a young lawyer, he doesn't have much of an online presence that he has endorsed. And there was it Avvo? One second. It was maybe Avvo. Yeah, so he on Avvo, he's active. There's no misconduct found. This person says he is fabulous. I was facing 3 5-year sentences for a grand total of 15 years if convicted. Caleb fought hard for me. I pled to a felony and got 3 years, which upon completion would be dropped to a Class A misdemeanor. The victim claimed $30,000 to $35,000 in damages. Finally, after months and months of court proceedings, Caleb got my sentence reduced, and I only have to pay $12,000 in restitution. Great job, Caleb. And this other person did not have a good experience, says, don't waste your money. I hired him to file a suit against the homeowners association. I asked him to access utility records, which I have been denied, and to get a court order if necessary. I instead sent a letter to the HOA and did nothing else. He was AWOL every time I tried to contact him, not in his office, and he doesn't have anyone to answer the phone for him. I asked for a refund of my retainer, and he refuses to even respond to me. I found him to be completely unresponsive and incompetent. So 2 vastly different experiences from these 2 clients. Sorry, this is what I was reading to you guys. Sorry to open a new window. But yeah, so this person says that they got a great outcome, and this person said they had a poor outcome. So, there's always that one disgruntled client. You don't know. He doesn't have a very big online presence. He hasn't given himself an online bio. So it's really, really hard to know. But there doesn't seem to be any indication that there doesn't seem to be any indication that he is versed in criminal defense, whereas with the other gentleman, it does seem like there is. So let's go back to the charging document. And again, this is courtesy of Reddit 8 passenger snark. So then they have her charges all here, and the events that have happened in the case. Okay. All right. And then this we previously read. This is just the original charging document for Miss Frankie. Okay, so this is the actual narrative, the affidavit of probable cause. It's an officer, law enforcement. They are making an affidavit to the best of their knowledge that this is true, that this is the basis for which they are charging this person. The arrestee above, Ruby Frankie, will be released automatically 24 hours from the time of arrest unless a magistrate signs an order and such order is returned to the jail before that time. If the judge has refused to sign the order, the arrestee will be released. Well, they signed the order and she was held. So she's held. Okay, so this, I believe there is probable cause to charge the defendant with these charges because, and these charges are aggravated child abuse. It ended up being 6 charges. So August 30th, 2023, they've redacted the detective's name. On August 30th, 2023, Ruby Frankie was placed under arrest for the following. Number 1, child abuse. This child climbed out of the window of an Ivins residence belonging to Jody Hildebrandt and ran to a neighbor's home. The child knocked on the door requesting food and water. The neighbor observed duct tape on the child's ankles and wrists and contacted law enforcement. Upon arrival, law enforcement observed the wounds and the malnourishment of the child to be severe, and the child was transported to the hospital. The child was placed on a medical hold due to deep lacerations from being tied up with rope and from malnourishment. Ruby Frankie was seen on a YouTube video filmed in Jody Hildebrandt's downstairs, which was posted 2 days ago. This observation adds to Miss Frankie, the mother of RF, the child, being present in the home and having knowledge of the abuse, malnourishment, and neglect. Miss Frankie requested a lawyer and did not speak with us. I always advise that, right? With this information and the belief that Miss Frankie had knowledge of malnourishment, abuse, and neglect, this charge will be enhanced to a second-degree felony. I ask that Miss Frankie not be allowed bail due to the severity of the injuries of her 2 kids located in the home and the fact that DCFS, Department of Children and Family Services, has taken 4 of Miss Frankie's children into their custody, and I have yet to speak with 2 of them. Number 2, child abuse for victim redacted. This child was found at Jody Hildebrandt's residence after the first child made contact with the police. They were found to be malnourished and initially refused medical. After approximately 4 hours, the child agreed Jody Hildebrandt was found to be in the direct care of the child. The child was determined to be malnourished by a medical professional upon arriving at the hospital. Ruby Frankie was seen on a YouTube video filmed in Jody Hildebrandt's downstairs, which was posted 2 days ago. This observation adds to Miss Frankie, the mother of the child, being present in the home and having knowledge of the abuse, malnourishment, and neglect. With this information and the belief that Miss Frankie had knowledge of malnourishment, abuse, and neglect, this charge will be enhanced to a second-degree felony. I ask that Miss Frankie not be allowed bail due to the severity of the injuries and the fact that DCFS has taken 4 of Miss Frankie's children into their custody, and I have yet to speak with 2 of them, meaning that they don't want her having any contact with those children. Arresting officer's signature. That's her signature. I believe that these to be additional conditions for continued detention. There was a felony committed while on probation or parole or while free on bail awaiting trial on a previous felony charge. I don't see how that applies here. See the details provided in the main narrative above, if any. No, the person would constitute, this is it. The person would constitute a substantial danger to any other person or to the community or is likely to flee the jurisdiction of the court. They pose a threat to the public and or they are a flight risk. So he's saying this person is a flight risk and a threat to the public, and so they should not be released. And that's usually why someone is held without bond pending trial. and that there's no conditions of bond that would ensure the safety of the community or the appearance of the person in court. I declare under penalty of perjury and under the laws of the state of Utah that the foregoing is true and correct. They forgot to redact that one. Okay. Okay, so those are the booking details. Okay, here are the risk factors for her continued detention. So this is a public safety assessment report. I would think this would be done by Division of Parole and Probation or Bureau of Prisons or something like that. It's usually like the jail side of things that does these assessments, but let's see. So this is her. That's her inmate ID number. She was arrested on August 30th. This is her birth date. She's female. So aggravated child abuse has been increased. Aggravated child abuse increased. She was 41 years old at the time of arrest. A current violent offense, yes. So she was not younger than 20. She was not pending any charges. Yes, she has a prior misdemeanor conviction. I wonder what for. She has a record. Prior felony conviction, no. Prior conviction, yes. I don't know if that's breaking news for you guys, but Ruby Franke has some type of criminal history. I wonder what it is. Prior violent offense, no. Prior failure to appear in the past 2 years, no. Prior failure to appear older than 2 years, no. Prior sentence of incarceration, no. So for all of these reasons, these are factors the court should consider. These are risk factors to her being a danger to the community or not appearing in court, if that makes sense. So, yeah. You guys are so cute. Someone said the poll is not fair because they're both bad. I'm not going to give you an out. You have to pick one. I'm sorry. And I'll circle back to the poll after we finish this. Recommendations: release with pretrial conditions. So they wanted pretrial monitoring no later than 24 hours after release and check-in one time per month by phone and text message hearing reminders. So they said that they would let her out on pretrial level 1, according to public safety. This has to be done by the Bureau of Prisons or Department of Parole and Probation. That's how it's done in my state. And they made a recommendation that they would let her out, but the judge said no, she was held. She's held without bond. She can get other chances at having her bond reviewed, but she's in right now. And that probably has to do with how severely the children are injured. Okay. Here it continues the assessment. Okay, so ROR means release on own recognizance. PRL1 is pretrial level 1, pretrial level 2, pretrial level 3, pretrial level 5. And it's increased one level. So she's at release on own recognizance on their spreadsheet or their chart that tells you whether or not to release the person. But she has increased the level to pretrial level 1 from released on your own recognizance, just released on your promise to appear, which is what own recognizance means. That's how it's interpreted in a criminal case. Pretrial level 1 would be some type of supervision from Bureau of Prisons or Department of Probation or whatever pretrial authority there is in that state. But ultimately, the judge makes the decision. And as we see, the officer was asking, and that means the prosecution is asking, that she not be released at all. And so the judge overrode that, as is their right to do, and ordered her held. So pretrial level 1 is usually like they said you just report to the people. They'll send you text messages, reminders. Pretrial level 2, they might come and like visit you and stuff like that, or you have to like physically come in, you might have to report more frequently. And then our pretrial level 3 is probably what their pretrial level 5 is. And that's when you're on a GPS monitor, or in Michigan, they call it a tether. So you have a ankle monitor on and you're basically on home confinement and you can't go anywhere other than like authorized for work and sometimes religious services. Sometimes they don't even let you leave for that. So yeah. So release on own recognizance, no conditions, release with conditions, pretrial level 1. Okay, so the default is to report your contact information and any charges and changes in address, phone or email to the court and your attorney within 1 business day. So, okay, releasing your own recognizance, pretrial level 1, Sign up for pretrial monitoring. None of this matters. She didn't get any of this, but they're just explaining what those different levels are. Okay, let's see what pretrial level 5 looks. Check in one time per week per week in person. Sign up with pretrial monitoring no later than 24 hours after release. Hearing date reminders, check in daily by phone. They can do a urinalysis screen, a drug screen, appear in court and require, commit no new offenses, maybe release on an unsecured bond, avoid contact with the victim. These are optional. Okay, very, very interesting. Very, very interesting. She gets none of that. She gets none of that. Okay, so this is Jodi Hildebrandt, and we see all of her charges, 6 charges of aggravated child abuse intentionally or knowingly. And she's assigned to Judge Walton. Jodi Nan Hildebrandt is the name of that defendant. Okay, let me see if there's been, she is also held without bail. Has there been an attorney? I don't see an attorney appearance, but let's see if we have one. No. So as of September 1st or 2nd, Jodi Hildebrandt has no attorney of record, but that probably has since changed or will change in the very near future. I assume she will not qualify for a public defender. Apparently, Jodi Hildebrandt is filthy rich. She's extremely wealthy, so she should be able to hire her own attorney. Okay. Now let's see if there's, I want to see if there's anything different about the affidavit for Jodi. So let's just go to that. Okay. The child climbed out the window of an, is it Ivins or Ivins? If it's Ivins, can you please put in the comment section EYEVINS? VINS. Yeah. If it's Ivins, is it Ivins or Ivins? Residents belonging to Jodi Hildebrandt and ran to a neighbor's home, knocked on the door requesting food and water. The neighbor observed duct tape on the ankles and wrists and contacted law enforcement. Upon arrival, law enforcement observed the wounds and the malnourishment of the child to be severe and was transported to the hospital, placed on a medical hold due to deep lacerations. Jodi Hildebrandt was, okay, here we go. Oh, Lord. Jodi Hildebrandt was found to be in direct care of the child as the child was staying at her home. And that's an element, that you have care and custody of the child, or that the person who has care and custody of the child allowed you to abuse the child, right? So she's in direct care and custody of the child. Jodi Hildebrandt was found to be in direct care and custody of the child. They were staying in her home. In her bathroom, I located gauze which had been used. This observation adds to Ms. Hildebrandt's knowledge of the abuse in the home. I need a little bit more than that. So she had gauze which had been used. Maybe they're just trying not to be too graphic. Was there gauze around the child? Are they saying that she used the gauze? It's in her bathroom. She's trying to treat the wounds, so she's aware of the abuse and the malnourishment. I get that that's what they're saying, but gauze which had been used is just so vague. And that's all it really needs to be for probable cause. It doesn't need to be super detailed and specific. It's the lowest standard that we have, but still, it's the lowest standard we have in criminal courts, probable cause. And that's just what's needed to charge the person. It doesn't mean that they're found guilty. You need to show a tie between the crime committed and the offense committed. And sorry, the crime committed and the person who's alleged to have committed the offense. You need to show a tie there. So that's what they're doing. They're just saying that there was gauze in her bathroom and the gauze was used. Ms. Hildebrandt requested a lawyer and did not speak with us, which again, I encourage everyone to do. Everyone should ask for a lawyer. Once given her charges, Ms. Hildebrandt informed me and another officer. Oh, no. Ms. Hildebrandt informed me the 2 children should never be allowed around any other kids. Well, that's an incriminating statement, you Looney Tune. Excuse me, I shouldn't have said that. I shouldn't have said that. Wow, I wasn't expecting that. I wasn't expecting that. Give me one moment. Wow, that is sick. Wow, one moment, please. Um, let me talk to you. Let me talk to you. That is sick. Okay. That really concerns me. I've already, something's going on with my ear. I have like, something's going on with me. I think I'm allergic to the bug that bit me. So I think you guys are watching me have an allergic reaction. Um, this is concerning me because it's reminding me of Lori Vallow Daybell. But let me take it outside of this concerns me. Let me tell you why that is legally incriminating. Number one, it shows an intentionality, a knowledge, a disdain, a premeditation, and more than just negligence, but actual intentional abuse. And intentional in knowing are factors or elements of the child abuse standard in Utah to make it that aggravated felony. And so, for that reason, even if you elect to speak to an attorney, saying things like no other children should be around these children makes me think that the prosecutor will at least be able to argue this in your trial, that you felt that it was necessary to abuse these children because of your odd religious beliefs. And that really makes me think about Lori Vallow Daybell. Her group Connections has been compared to a cult. And there are a few videos out there showing her using odd language, controlling behavior, encouraging. I was listening to Mormon Stories podcast, and John Dehlin was saying that he was in contact with one of her former patients who said that she alienated, or patients or clients or whatever you want to call them, she alienated him from his wife and basically forced a rift with his wife. And so when you say things like this, it's concerning me. Okay. This is highly, highly concerning. And the fact that she couldn't even control herself not to say that to law enforcement makes me think that there's something much more sinister, even more sinister and widespread, maybe I should say, because it's the utmost sinister thing to harm a child, allegedly. But it could be more widespread even than these poor defenseless children. So Ms. Hildebrandt informed me that the children should never be allowed around any other kids. With this information and the belief that Ms. Hildebrandt had knowledge of malnourishment, abuse, and neglect, this charge will be enhanced to a second-degree felony. I asked that Ms. Hildebrandt not be allowed bail due to the severity of the injuries and the fact that DCFS has taken 4 of Ms. Frankie's children into their custody, and I've yet to speak with 2 of them. So maybe until I speak with the children to see what the heck is going on here, to speak to all 4 of them, they should be held for the safety of the children and the community. So the other child was found at Jody Hildebrandt's residence after that the other child, the first child who crawled out the window, made contact with the police. That this child was found to have malnourishment and initially refused medical. We knew this. About 4 hours later, agreed to medical. Paramedics arrived and transported the child to the hospital, where it was determined that the child was malnourished by medical professionals. Jody Hildebrandt was found to be in the direct care of that child. Once given her charges, Miss Hildebrandt informed me the children should never be allowed around any other kids. With this information, the belief, so on and so forth. Okay. So that's the affidavit signature. And let's see if we can see anything about, is that it? Oh, you guys gave us a lot of information, but if you can get, if anyone's watching this from the 8 Passenger Snark community on Reddit, I would suggest that you attempt to, through the same legal means that you did previously, obtain the supervision release, the release report for Jody Hildebrandt, because you want to see if she has any criminal history, because we just revealed, or you just revealed from posting that Ruby Frankie has some form of misdemeanor criminal history. That could be as minor as a traffic citation, but she's got something on her record that we don't know about. So it's very, very interesting. And that is the statement of probable cause, which is also what it is called in my state, a statement of probable cause. I do. I need to take a Benadryl. I'm having a reaction. It's like, I don't know if you can hear, I'm getting congested. My eye is swelling up. So you guys asked about Jody's husband. Jody's husband and Ruby's husband. So let's first and foremost talk about Jody. Jody has been, this is from sources on the internet, okay? Allegedly, Jody Hildebrandt has been divorced since like 2000 and something, like 2003, something like that. She has a son. She has been divorced for a very long time. Her husband divorced her and then moved on, got married, and had more kids. Ever since then, she's been unmarried on paper. She has a huge home. And at some point in time, it looks like she had moved in with Ruby Franke, or Ruby Franke had moved in with her. I'm going to address the elephant in the room. There has been online debate and discussion about Ruby Franke and Jody Hildebrandt potentially being in some type of relationship that's romantic. I cannot speak on that one way or the other because I don't know. And I don't really want to speculate because I think it sometimes stigmatizes the LGBT community, because they'll say people that are homophobic will be secretly gay and they feel shame about it, and so they shame other gay people. I don't want to put that stereotype out there because I don't know. Jody Hildebrandt is extremely homophobic. She's made, and that's my opinion, but there are videos that she has made disparaging the LGBTQIA community and calling them like sexually perverse and things like that. And so she's extremely homophobic. And in turn, she has been accused of breaking up people's marriages. So she's a licensed clinical therapist. However, she has previously been suspended because she disclosed that one of her patients may have had an addiction to adult materials to Brigham Young University, which is a religious LDS college and has a code of conduct where a addiction to that would get that person kicked out of school. And they got kicked out of BYU. They were sanctioned by their church. And so they complained about her, and she was found to have violated the codes of conduct for licensed clinical therapists, and she had her therapy license suspended, and she had to do certain things in order to get her therapy license back. And he said that, first of all, what she said about him wasn't even true, but that it caused issues in his marriage. The same was said by the person who made a report to John DeLynn with Mormon Stories podcast. There was a gentleman who said that he was in her therapy group. Thank you. Okay. All right, guys. I'm gonna get some. I really am like, I'm struggling right now. I don't know if you can, like, my eye is like all swollen and I'm itching really, really bad. I'm trying not to scratch, but so if you're just joining us, I got bitten by a bug under my eye this morning as I was walking out, and it's just been steadily getting worse. So I have Benadryl in my, but I'm kind of nervous to take it because I drank some rosé, but this is not any alcohol. This is LaCroix. So I'll be right back. I'm going to go take a quick break so I can take some Benadryl because it's noticeable and I can't really breathe that well. Just give me a moment. I'm sorry. Oh, here's what I'll do. No, let me just do. Thank you, Uncivil. Thank you for looking out. I'll be right back. Thanks, guys. Okay. Thank you guys for being understanding. 1 second. What a cursed stream. Thank you guys for being understanding. And as proof, I did actually take some Benadryl. So I just took one. How many should I take? Antihistamine. 1 or 2 tablets. Oh, 1 or 2. It's pretty bad. I'm going to take 2. Wait, I'm going to take 2, I think. Well, thanks, Susie. Appreciate you. Anyway, all right. So you guys have also asked about Ruby Frankie's 2, but you might go night. Okay, you guys also asked about. I'm gonna take 2 because it says 1 or 2, and I'm a full-grown adult. You also asked about Ruby Frankie's husband, so I do have an update on her husband. So just like the gentleman that spoke to John Dehlin anonymously, and basically said that Jodi Hildebrandt broke up his marriage, Ruby's husband and her have split. And we know that that's a pretty big deal in the Mormon faith, the LDS faith. I mean, any traditional religion, especially Judeo-Christian religion, divorce is frowned upon. I think in the Bible it says that God hates divorce. So we know that divorce is not preferable, but there seems to be a high incidence of divorce allegedly amongst the followers of Connections or those who receive so-called therapeutic services from Jodi Hildebrandt. So, okay. So neighbors told the Daily Mail that they, shucks, they have been concerned about the children's well-being and once saw the kids left outside pulling weeds for hours during triple-digit temperatures. Ruby, this is her husband, Kevin. So this is Kevin Frankie, the husband of Mormon YouTuber Ruby Frankie, was spotted at the family home on Saturday. So this is this past Saturday. Okay, he has not been arrested. I would think that it's because the police have been unable at this point to show a link between Kevin Frankie and Ruby Frankie at the time that the children were being abused or tied up or whatever was going on, right? Because they were separated. Now, it's possible that he participated in other forms of abuse or he didn't, right? But we've certainly seen the videos at this point, the lowlights videos that have shown a connection between him at least sanctioning and being present for a lot of the emotional abuse and the food restriction that I also think is abusive that Ruby was inflicting on the children, and he was participating in that or allowing it to happen. But when it comes to the physical abuse, certainly there is not currently a link that we know of between Kevin Frankie and Ruby Frankie and Jodi Hildebrandt. And it seems like the two of them were separated at the time. He is saying that he's trying to get back custody of his children, according to his attorney. I would be, if I was the judge, very, very cautious about that. Very, 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 very cautious about that. Because why didn't he, if he didn't know what was going on, why? If he did know what was going on, why didn't he stop it? Those are the questions I have to ask. So I don't know if I would trust him. This is the home that they shared. This is their home right here, Ruby Frankie Springfield, Utah home. This is not the home where the children were found tied up. Beautiful house, by the way. This is Ruby Frankie and Jodi Hildebrandt to the right. So dailymail.com spoke to one of Hildebrandt's neighbors whose home is also in the Kayenta community located at the base of Red Mountains in Ivins, Utah. They recalled seeing Frankie, dang, I'm on 10% battery. They recalled seeing Frankie's 8 passengers van regularly parked in front of the home at the time. One thing we noticed, and we told the police the same thing, 6 to 8 weeks ago, when it was really hot, I was outside in the late morning, afternoon pulling weeds. And over at Jodi's home, several kids were also outside her home pulling weeds. Over the course of the day, the temperature was over 100 degrees, and I gave up after a while because it was so hot, but I noticed that the kids stayed out there. The resident also noted how they never heard any sounds coming from the home, such as those children playing outside, which they thought was unusual. On one day, a child is thought to have escaped through the window of a home before running to a neighbor, and who then called the police. The neighbor said they believed the child picked the particular home after they had been given cookies by them at Christmas time and knew them to be friendly and safe enough to go to them for help. Oh, both. Oh, be nice to the kids around you guys. Both Frankie and Hildebrandt have been previously criticized for their teachings on parenting, collaborating on Hildebrandt's life counseling service connections. Anyway, this whole thing that I brought up is that this past Saturday, Kevin Frankie was seen pacing around outside his home in Springville, Utah. Even though he had not been there for a while, he is outside of the Springville, Utah home, which is several hours away from where the children were found in Jody Hildebrandt's home. Okay, so Frankie is given a pat of reassurance as he returns to the family home carrying travel bags and a pillow. So it looks like he was moved out of the house, or moved himself out of the house, and he returned. Why did that hit me in the feels? That's so embarrassing. Oh my God, I hate when that happens. It's so embarrassing. Sorry. Oh, poor little babies. Hey, Biggins people. Oh my goodness, so sad. All right, so that is the wow. I'm blaming the Benadryl. That is the statement of charges against Ruby Frankie, the mother, and Jody Hildebrandt, the therapist, business partner of Ruby Frankie. And yeah. Woo. Okay, man. Wake up, Natalie. Come on, get it together, girl. Why did that just hit me in the feels like so hard? Oh my God. Okay. Wow. Okay. Stop. Right, 2 was too many. I should have just taken 1, but it doesn't matter. Okay. I'm sorry, guys. that just the idea of them like giving them cookies, and the mom like takes food from them and takes Christmas from them and all types of stuff, and then ties them up. And some people really don't deserve kids, allegedly. Some people really don't deserve kids. It's not fair. Okay. So I just want to share that with you. That was the indictment. Let's go back. 90% of you say the wife is the a-hole in that scenario. That's 1,358 of you that say that. 10% of you say the husband is the a-hole in the AITA scenario. Thank you all for voting. Thank you all for joining. I appreciate all of you. So if you are currently watching the stream, there's 2,535 of you. Please hit the like button. I cannot believe I lost it like that. I'm so embarrassed. Please hit the like button and like the video so that, hey, Biggin. Oh my goodness. Okay, so anyway, I hope she has a good lawyer. I really, really do. All right. So please hit the like button, and we're going to transition now to the super chats. Rael, who's been a member for 25 months, says, hello, my fellow chicklets. Hello, Rael. The Giddy Owl says, hello, Nat. Thank you for covering. The more I learn about this case, the more I see how close this could have been. Another Vallow Daybell case. Yeah. Shout out to that child who had the strength, the courage to run away and to seek help. And shout out to the neighbors for taking them seriously. And Department of Children and Family Services, get your shit together, because they have been reported. Thank you to everyone for your super chats. Just for the sake of time, I'm just going to read through them. But thank you all. I appreciate you so much. You are so appreciated. You really do help the channel to grow. I'm an artist and did a portrait of you for practice. I'd love to give it to you if you can send it in an email. Thank you for your content and insight. Well, thank you so much. If you want to send me anything, my email address is Natalie Lawyer Chick. Ooh, girl. My email is natalielawyerchick@gmail.com. Thank you very much. I feel like my eye is getting worse. Thank you for the super chat. My friends with children never showcase them on socials. Keep them safer that way. Yeah, I mean, I'm a big believer in that. I share so much of myself, but I don't even post my friends like that. I don't even post my friends like that. Like when I'm out with friends, I don't like post them like that because I don't want to draw social media scrutiny to people just because they're my friends, So much less a child. Come on. Welcome, Maggie, to the Lawyer Chicklets. Smoke signals. I was stalked by an adult I didn't know who was looking to victimize me. I would literally never post my children on social media like that. NTA. I agree. Listen, I've gotten into so much drama with people just from online social media stuff. I have a group of people that literally follow every single thing that I post, and then they repost it to pick it apart and say nasty things about me. And I don't care. But if it was a child, like my child, I would care, right? So it's like, don't expose your children to that, man. Be careful. Oh, sweetie, no. Nat, I emailed you Jordan and McKay's email address. Thank you so much. Mandy Me, welcome to the Lawyer Chicklets. Oh, we've been a member for 2 months. The prosecutor prosecuted Warren Jeffs. They have experience. Oh, nice. Very interesting. Jordan and McKay. Hey! Shout out to the person that came in and asked me if we had responded on Instagram. Thank you, Jordan and McKay. Thank you for the super chat. I'm so glad you guys sent that. Let me just shore that up right this very second, okay? Yeah. Yay. Okay, we're gonna figure this out. And at a time where I'm not having a massive allergic reaction. Literally, I had to turn off the camera. There was a moment I was like, oh, excuse me, let me turn off the camera. Because I had to try and breathe. So not today, but we will definitely link up. Peggy Cole has been a member for 10 months and says the hearing is going to be over Zoom. Okay. Hopefully, because you guys are in Mountain Time, I should be able to cover that. We'll see. 9/8. I don't think I have a trial that day. Jam. Hey, Chicklets. Hey, Jam. Thank you for being a member. Equality. Canadian super chat. Thank you. I'm late and trying to catch up on 2 times speed, so I'm sorry if you've already explained this before, but what does aggravated mean in a case? Oh, that's great. It takes it from being either a misdemeanor to a felony or a more heightened felony. It makes it the type of felony where someone can receive a higher sentence, okay? And in the immigration context, an aggravated felony means that you're pretty much getting deported. Yes, I did get that one. Alexandra, thank you for the super chat. While she is medicating, stretch and hydrate, y'all. Yes, good suggestion. Thank you. Tarot Links. Hello, my friend. If this allergy gets worse, go to the hospital. I will. I think it's getting better though. Even though my eye is feeling like a little, and my eye is feeling like it wants to shut down. But I can lies. I'm lying. I don't feel like that. Feel tired, but not better. I will. I'm really bad at getting myself help when I'm not feeling well. FYI, Frankie's hearing on 9/8/23 will be virtual. 5th District Court in St. George, Utah. Ivins equals Ivans. Thank you so much, Ivana Tinkle. Thank you for the super chat. Ivans. Okay, thank you. And so 9/8/23, I will try to be there and maybe we'll get to stream it from here. Big and Raid, thank you for the super chat to my Cosico 1. You went through it as a kid, so did I. I got feely too. Just makes you human. Thank you, Katie. Exactly. It was bringing up a lot of stuff for me. But when it literally broke me when he was like, oh, or she, the kids felt comfortable coming here because of no, this is just allergy. That's not actual tears. That's tears, but it's not from sadness. It's just my eyes dying. This is just so ridiculous. I don't know why it's getting so bad right now. 9/8/23 will be virtual. 5th District Court in St. George, Utah. Ivins equals Ivans. Thank you so much, Ivana Tinkle. This is just so ridiculous. I don't know why it's getting so bad right now.
Arrow Scorpion says, thank you for the super chat. Please never be embarrassed for being human and having a heart. Thank you for being you. Thank you so much. Andrea Loves Stitches. Welcome to the super chat. Lady T, my girl. Hey, Lady T. Hey, Nat, please see what you can find on Angela Simpson. Yeah, I'm a bit obsessed, but it's because there's a little info. It's a little info for her. She's scary AF. And I think you emailed me about this. I will. I haven't forgotten. Jess has been a member for 12 months. Thank you, Jess. Just wanted to say hi to Susie. Hi, Susie. Susie's here. Susie's here. She's here. She's doing good. You guys got to see everybody today, except for Brandon. Brandon's out right now. Hey, Jillian. It's nice to see you. Hey, joining y'all from the Peloton as I sweat my booty off. Go you. Listen, Jillian's on the Peloton. I have been killing it in the gym. I'm so proud of myself. I'm not even going to lie. It's been like 3 months and I've just been doing it. I don't know why. I just can't stop. I'm enjoying myself. So go you. Looking forward to a Natalie J&M collab. I'm looking forward to that as well. Thank you guys for linking us up and letting them know that I messaged them. I really do want to interview them. And I'd love to combine kind of like how we did with Dr. Berry, like their experience. First of all, as former members of the LDS faith, as one of the mental health professional and working with children with special needs. Jordan and McKay, I've been all up and through your channel, okay? And then with my legal experience, I think it would make a great collaboration. All right, my friends, I want to thank you so much for joining me. Thank you. I don't want to cut the stream short. I wanted to play a video for you guys, but I'm going to have to cut the stream short because I'm really, as you can see, I can't breathe that well and I'm not feeling so great now and I need to lay down and close my eye. So, all right, guys, I hate to do this, but I have to. Okay, I'll talk to you all later. I'm going to take a break. Thank you, Kurt. I appreciate you guys. I appreciate you all for supporting me. Please like the video on the way out. You can put your shoes back on, head on home. Listen, do me a favor, share this video, let people know that we're here and we're analyzing cases, and I'll talk to you later. Okay, bye, guys. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry, but I'll talk to you all later. Bye-bye.